just know, there was a rabbi, great Gaon, his name was Shlomo Volba. And he once, how there is a truth to something called Yeridat HaDorot. Well, there is a truth, I'll prove it to you. Back in the day, I'm going to tell you, 1 second, I'm going to tell you. Back in the day, the way it happened was, we learned Torah only standing up. There was no such thing as sitting down. Why? Out of respect for the Torah, what do? We stand up. You don't have to stand up, Mark, it's okay. He's standing up now, right? So he says, out of respect for the Torah, that's how they did it. They stood up to learn Torah. And it was from the time of Moshe Rabbeinu till the time of Rabban Gamliel. The Gemara on Kaf Aleph in Masechet Megillah says, they stood up. Once Rabban Gamliel passed away, Yeridat HaDorot. Came Yeridat HaDorot. That means that they gave a heter, you're allowed to see, you're allowed this, you're allowed. Why? There was a chol that came to the world, and the Yeridah came, there was a sickness that came, and from Rabban Gamliel's time, basically, there was no standing up. You could stand up if you want, you could sit down if you want, you could do, just learn. So they asked Shlomo Volba, what would you say this generation's test is? And I know what you might be thinking, but listen to what the great rabbi of Shlomo Volba said. He says the great Yeridat HaDorot is people don't believe in themselves that they can reach greatness. You heard Mark? That's the Yeridat HaDorot, because if a person really believed in himself, he could do it. He could do it. You have to have in your life a self-confidence that you can do it. A person shuts themselves down. No, me, I can't. So if your brain tells you that you can't, then 99.999% you're going to believe it. But if your brain tells you, why can't I be? Why can't I know this from cover to cover? Why can't I know Shas? Why can't I do this? Why can't I start a chesed organization and things like that? Why not? So if that's the case, your brain will transform and automatically do it. There was a great rabbi, and he had pictures. At the time, he wasn't the greatest rabbi, but he became one of the greatest rabbis. Listen to this, because this is he put a picture in his house of the biggest rabbis of generations, and he put in one of the pictures an empty slot, and he wrote, "Why not me?" And he ended up becoming one of the greatest rabbis. You know which rabbi was? Rabbi Mordechai Gifter. And very famous. He ended up becoming one of the greatest rabbis. How? Because he looked at it. Wait, these rabbis did it. These rabbis did it. Why can I do it? Why not me? Why can't I get there? You understand? In anything in life, you want to be the biggest charitable person in the world. You want to be the next guy giving $10 million checks. Forget want to go for it. Why not? Why not? You understand what I'm trying to say? You hear what I'm saying? Okay, of course, don't ever lose hope. Don't ever get depressed in life, because that's the biggest Yetzirah. What does he want you to do? He always wants you to lose hope. Okay, Bezrat Hashem, one day, you pray for it, you do it, whatever your accomplishments in your life is, one of the things is that a person has to believe, Bezrat Hashem, with his full koach, that if he puts in the work, a lot of people don't want to put in the work, right, Mark? A lot of people don't want to put in the work. If they put in the work and they go again and again and again and again, it happens to be with business is siyata d'shmaya. Everything is siyata d'shmaya. But I'm saying you put in the work, you get it. There's a Gemara Masechet Megillah Davav Amud Bet. You look at it over there. It says Yagata umatzata ta'amin. Right? Your favorite Gemara. I know it's your favorite Gemara. It says one case. It says what? I Yagati v'lo matzati. I worked very hard. I didn't find it. Don't believe this guy. It must be he didn't work hard enough. Right? Then it says, Lo yagati matzati. I didn't work hard and I found the whole situation. Don't believe that guy either. It's not coming at work. Then it says, Yagati matzati ta'amin. What does that mean? I worked and I found ta'amin. What is that? Hani mili b'divrei Torah. How do they b'divrei Torah? B'masar matan siyata min shamayahu. That's the Gemara. What's siyata min shamaya? A person, if somebody would come over to you and say, by the way, I became a multi-millionaire overnight. The next day I woke up, boom, I'm loaded. Could you believe him or he's sketching this guy? There's truth to believe him. How can it be? When it comes to Torah, if the guy comes in after 2 months of learning, wow, became the big Stami Hacham, don't believe this guy. Impossible. You gotta work. You gotta work. But when it comes to money matters, Masal Matan, it says, right? Trading, you can do a trade and you can be the next day. Wow. Right? Now you can believe. Why? Special Siyad Dishmaya. Torah you have to work for. Torah is not gonna, you know why it has imagine, where's the pleasure? The pleasure is when you work and work and work and eventually you will become. You know, there was a very famous Rabbi Akiva. You know Rabbi Akiva? His father-in-law made a neder that he's not giving any money to his son-in-law. Because at that time, we know Rabbi Akiva started what? Much later in life. Right? So his daughter Rachel was marrying Rabbi Akiva. And he said, no, what's going on over here? I want you to marry Tamei Hacham. What are you doing? He's not Tamei Hacham, you got to marry Tamei Hacham. At that time, he wasn't Tamei Hacham. Right? He made an eder, he's going to oust out from the will. No flus, no money. Anyway, many years later, Rabbi Akiva became the Gadol Ador. He became the greatest of the generation. Rabbi Akiva. He became the greatest of the generation. So he had 24,000 students. They all died and he never gave up. He went back with another 5 students. That comes the Gemara from us. That's where the Gemara comes from. The whole Gemara is from those 5 Talmidim from Rabbi Akiva that he never gave up. And he kept on working. He didn't give up. Think about it for a second. What would you do if you had an empire? Imagine you had a 24,000, 24,000 student. We're not talking about how many you had. We're not talking about 1,000 people either. You know what 24,000 students is? You know what you could fill up with 24,000 students? You got to imagine what's going on over here. You know, even MetLife doesn't even do that. You know MetLife? How many is the max? 15,000? 50? 50,000? Even it doesn't fit it. Exactly, you need standards, you need that. Imagine, he's giving shiur, 24,000 students, imagine. Now we see when Rabbi giving to 1,000 people, wow, look, Rabbi 1,000. Imagine Shanei Tzion Dome, times it by 40. By 40. Packed every seat. Wild. They all passed away, and what happens? He starts again with 5 students, and the whole Gemara comes. Now he meets his father-in-law many years later. Now they don't know. By the way, when Rabbi Akiva came back, his wife came to greet Rabbi Akiva. And the students said, hey lady, you got to move out of the way. What are you doing? Kish. The students of Rabbi Akiva are moving away this lady, Rabbi Akiva's wife. Rabbi Akiva says, hold it. Don't move her away. Don't tell her to move. Why, Rabbi? She's blocking the way. It says, Sheli, v'shelachem, Mark, finish it, Shelah. Sheli, v'shelachem, Shelah. What does that mean? It says, my Torah, your Torah is all hers. It says, what do you mean? She believed in me. You heard? She believed in me. She pushed me. She said, I'm going to marry you even though my father is Xing me from the will. He's Xing me from the will. Why? Because I believe in you that you can do it. Somebody put belief in me? I'm going to do it. I'm going to go sit, stop my everything around, turn my life around. I'm going to sit and steig and learn and be and become. And guess what? He became. And he says, Rabotai, don't touch that woman. Make sure she stays because this is my wife. This is the Rebbetzin. This is where all the Torah came from because she put belief in me that I will be the Tamei Hacham. You hear what's going on? You hear what belief in someone could do? You hear what it is? You encourage the person, you can do it. Don't worry, keep on going. You Chacham, you can do it. You can make it. Stop it already. Put your full efforts. Come on, let's do it. When you do that, the person he puts the vigor in that. You know what kind of confidence this person has? Forget about it. He made him fly. He's ready. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. Let's make it happen. Let's do it. You believe me? And when Rabbi Akiva saw his father-in-law was kissing his hand. I'm your son-in-law. Imagine the father-in-law is now. Wow, come on, Darav. How are you, Rabbi? He said, I'm your son-in-law. You my son-in-law? Imagine, you don't see him for many years. He comes out, I'm your son-in-law. He says, I feel so bad. The father-in-law is telling the son-in-law, I feel so bad. So what do you feel bad about? He said, I made a neder. I can't give you any inheritance. So he says, don't worry. Don't worry. He says, why? He said, because why'd you make the neder? Because what? I wasn't the mechacham. However, the second a person puts his mind to being a Talmid Chacham, even though now he's not, he will be. And therefore, at the time of the actual neder that you made, that whatever neder you put and you did and you this, that, at that actual time, guess what? Guess what? It was as if I'm already Talmid Chacham. And therefore, Rabotai, the point that we're trying to bring out here today is like this. Like Rav Shlomo Volbo was saying, what's the Yeridat Adorot? What's the generations, how do you say, the falling? That we don't believe in ourselves enough. That is the falling. You don't believe it. You know why? Because you see so many people under this guy, that guy. You know how great you could become? You don't put enough belief in yourself. Oh, the guy's happy with coming to Minyan one time. What do you mean? I see potential in you that you could be the greatest of the greats. But you're happy with, I'm not saying not to. Be very, very happy. Be very happy that he came Sunday morning to Minyan. Be very happy. Be thrilled because he did a great thing. But you have so much potential if you really believe in yourself, how you could become what you could become. If you put the effort and you really believe, and again and again and again. Like we said around Mordechai Gifter, he put a thing, right? What did he say? Why not me? Because you could become. Don't ever lose hope. A lady wants to build a bite in Amman sale. She wants to make it happen. She could do it. No, but she has so much distraction. She has this, she has that. It's very hard for her, this, that. Don't ever sell yourself short. Because you could do it. You understand? Oh, but my son is a troublemaker in school. Guess what? The biggest troublemakers become the biggest rabbis. Yes? True or not true? The biggest trouble. And she's coming home crying. Oh, I came from PTA. They said my kid's a troublesome kid. Guess what? I have news for you. They say the shame. Listen to this, Joe. Listen to this. It says, they say the shame of Nachman Breslov. They say from Nachman Breslov, he says, the biggest troublemakers are the ones who become the biggest. Why? He says, because they can't sit. Why can't they sit? They can't sit in class. You're able to sit and say, you're the guy that couldn't sit and say. You know why? Because the neshama, the soul that they have in them is so big, it doesn't fit in the body. So he's jumping. He can't sit. He has ADD, ADHD, ADD, times 20. Why? Because he can't sit. Why can't he sit? Because his soul, his neshama is too big. His body can't handle it. It's something like neshama. What is it? It's like a spark. It's a ner neshama, right? Ner neshama. It's like a fire. The body can't hold the neshama, so it's going. Can't sit. Sit down. And you see your son. He's jumping, hitting the walls. This, that. Like, what's going on? Calm down. He can't calm down. You can't control it. And you say, oh, what's going to be my son? The lady's crying, what's going to be my son? I can't believe it. I want to be the biggest. Don't worry. He's going to be the biggest of the biggest. But what do you mean, Rabbi? How can it be? He's making the biggest. Right? The neshama is too big for his body. It can't control it. Now people might be hearing it, wait, my son doesn't have ADD, so it's not going to be. No, we're not saying that. But we're saying don't ever give up hope on anybody. Don't ever give up hope on everybody. The biggest proof is here. Somebody told me about somebody else. He says, Rabbi, give up hope on this guy. He'll never become. I shook his hand. This was about a few years back. And I'll tell you who the person is after. I don't want to put it on camera, but I shook his hand and I said, I guarantee you, he's going to be the best out of the best. And he became the best out of the best. And I shook his hand because this guy dared me. Like, you know, when you have a guy daring you, or you think you're playing. He's like, oh, Rabbi, give up hope on that guy. That guy's never becoming. And that was the guy who became more than the other guy. And I see the other guy who dared me. I'll tell you where he is today. But what you, in your life, you have to know what Rav Shlomo Volbo was saying. Believe in yourself. But really believe in yourself. You know, I say manifest. You know what manifest means? Like image yourself that, wow. They say Rabbi Yosef, when he was 9 years old, he would write on a paper, a picture. 9 years old. Him, his picture, Galabiye with the chief rabbi's robe and the chief rabbi's hat, and he became. Yeah. Believe in yourself, imagining, yes! Vision, yeah, I'm gonna be that. Give me some time, give me a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Gadol Ador, the biggest of the biggest. Give me a few years, all my family is gonna be the greatest family, yes, in the community, in the world. Hashem is gonna be happy for my family. I'm gonna make sure they grow up in Derech Torah Mitzvot. Yes. Don't sell yourself short, by the way, especially with your kids. There was one rabbi, he had a daughter, and he wrote I have his letter, I have his article when he had his first daughter. His daughter, he wrote, you should just know, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to give up my life that this daughter becomes the greatest daughter ever. And she became Rabbi. She was a very famous lady. She passed away like a year or 2 years ago. She was in Eretz. She moved to Eretz. She had a yeshiva, a seminary of maybe thousands of talmidot. She has thousands of students. Because the father invested, Rabbi Yitzchak, he invested in her, giving her the most attention. Don't sell yourself short with your kids either. Because your kids are your bow and arrows. You understand? Like your arrow, it's an extension of you. Whatever you put in them, don't think it's going for waste. Don't think so. You put emunah in them, they're going to get the emunah, they're going to have that forever. I'm being very serious. And you might not see it now, but in 10 years, in 5 years, in 6 years, when they become the age of 20, 30, 40, 50, they'll always remember what daddy and mommy told them. And that you put the confidence in them, and that you showed them the emunah. That's what it is. But it's on you. You have the potential to become great. You have the potential to make the people around you great. You have the potential to make the family great. And don't forget this. You have to throw it. Hold it in. Make sure. Rabbi Akiva came Rabbi Akiva. How? His wife gave him the confidence and said, of course he put in the work. But who put it in his brain that you could make it happen? That's why he says, Sheli v'shelachem shelah. My Torah, your Torah is her Torah. Why is it her Torah? Because she was the one who said, I'm going to marry you. Because I have faith in you. And I see potential in you. And don't ever sell yourself short. You will make it and you'll become.